All right, man. Grant Hill was on the Carlos Watson show about a week ago and did a great interview and said that in the 2000s, had he not got injured with the Pistons, he could have been better than Michael Jordan. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video. Mercy Sports Talk. We in the building. Don't forget, check out our Detroit Piston Talk playlist for more videos like this. Talk about everything. Lions, current Detroit news, whatever going on, we got you. But yeah, man, I mean, if you didn't grow up in it, man, you wouldn't know. Grant Hill was, I believe it. I'm not sure he could have, the only thing I'm not sure he could have did was accomplish the winning. Now, he was going to lead Detroit, and he stayed, and he played on that ankle too long, and you know that. But let's just say he had left Detroit, you know, and got healthy, and stayed healthy and went to Orlando and played with T-Mac. And don't forget, Doc Rivers actually talked Tim Duncan out of not coming there. Tim Duncan was going to come and team up with T-Mac and potentially Grant Hill. But what happened was the coach, Doc Rivers at the time, who coaching the Clippers, and some young guy the other day told me that I didn't know Doc Rivers coached the Orlando Magic at one point. That's just showing my age, I guess. But at one point, Tim Duncan was going to come there, but he told Tim Duncan that his family couldn't ride on the team plane, and Duncan ended up going back to San Antonio. That was the year he was thinking about going to Chicago and Orlando. And could you imagine a healthy Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, and Tim Duncan? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't understand how good Grant Hill was, he was an instant impact coming out of Duke. You know, he had this crossover that it was just simple. He skipped, bang, and he by you. Dunking on Alonzo Mourning. And Grant had the athleticism and the strength. I believe he came into the league stronger than Michael Jordan. And I think Michael Jordan was much more of a killer scorer. Grant was a guy that with Pippen, they innovated that point guard, forward point guard. He was more of a guy that was a facilitator. He reminded you of Magic, LeBron, guys of that nature. All Grant Hill had to do was add a jumper to his game, just like Mike. When Mike added the mid-range, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Grant could rebound with Mike. Grant was a better passer than Mike. And Grant was a good defender. Won't say he was better than Mike defensively, but he was one of the great perimeter defenders. All Grant had to do was be in a situation where he was healthy and he shot the ball better. He didn't necessarily need a three. Had he mastered the mid-range game, Grant would have been badass. And could I see him surpassing Michael Jordan? I mean, people think if you go 5-1 in the finals, you lesser than Jordan. So you would have to go like 6 rings and all that type of stuff. But ability, only thing you didn't know about Grant, because he didn't get opportunity. When it came down to crunch time in the playoffs or in the championship, could he deliver? And I believe Grant would have delivered. I believe Grant would have been up there, top 10 players of all time. You know, I think he is the biggest what-if story, you know, other than Len Bias. People say, who would have ended up having, who would you want to see if they never got injured? Penny, Derrick Rose, you could throw in Mark Price, and a lot of guys, Antonio McDyess got injured. He was one of the best players in the league at the time. For me, it was always Grant, you know, rocking the feelers, which I still want to pair those again, and just knowing how iconic he was, and the Pistons didn't put enough around him. You know, him and Allen Houston, they had the split. I think they had Bonzi at one point, you know. And unfortunately, he just landed in the wrong spot. They made a bad decision about his ankle, and he didn't get a chance. I mean, what if we could have seen him and T-Mac play together? How good they could have been. You know what I'm saying? Would it work? It's a chance. Everybody can say, oh, you put this guy, that guy together, it would have worked. Maybe it wouldn't have worked. Remember, T-Mac could have been headed to Philadelphia to play with Iverson had Stephen A. Smith not prematurely broke the news instead of going to Orlando. So I definitely think they would have formed a dominant big three with Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, and a healthy Grant Hill. That would have been dominant. I think they definitely would have brought a championship to Orlando. But obviously Grant wasn't healthy. I mean, even T-Mac and Tim Duncan might have been able to do it in Orlando. But, you know, Grant said if he stayed healthy, he believed that he would have been better than Michael Jordan. And it's hard to disagree with a guy that had it all, just like Jordan. He just wasn't the killer. He was more Magic, LeBron, a facilitator. He just had to add the jump shot, and I think that was coming. And I think he definitely could have been in the top 10 for sure. But obviously, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But as a player, you supposed to believe that. You supposed to believe can't nobody mess with me. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to believe that. But if you actually experience Grant Hill in person, or you experience him, through the TV, I used to watch them on UPN all the time. I love watching Grant Hill, Joe Dumars, Lindsey Hunter, Theo Ratliff. We would have family functions, and I'm the only kid in the back room watching the Piston game. Just always loved sports, and Grant Hill was nice, But let me know if you guys think, was it any, maybe a percentage. Do you think what percentage he could have passed Mike? As far as whatever your criteria is, if it's championships, stats, a combination of both. What do you think? Was it a 50% chance, a 10% chance, an 80% chance, a 75% chance? Had Grant Hill stayed healthy, what are the chances that he would have surpassed Michael Jordan? Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Don't forget to check out our Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Motor City, we gone.